Dungeons & Dragons is a tabletop role-playing game created in 1974 by Gary Gygax and Dave Arnson. D&D first grew from the seed known as Chainmail, a game written by Gary Gygax. Dave, being a fan of the fantasy rules, transcribed them into his own creation, Blackmoor. Dave Arnson drove down to where Gary Gygax lived and ran Blackmoor for him. Gary, being blown back by the game, asked for the rules, and after receiving the 18 pages, soon expanded it into 50 pages. Soon after, Gary and Dave would lay down their ideas and experiences to create the legend we know it as today, Dungeons & Dragons. Dungeons & Dragons itself is a game with infinite possibilities and playtime, only limited by the player's imagination. Throughout the years it has been around to help not only inspire people, but also help people with problems they wouldn't otherwise be able to deal with. While there may be many misconceptions like the satanic panic, the geek or the basement dweller stereotypes, these have downplayed the scope that D&D has. Anyone can play and have fun, from famous personalities like Vin Diesel, Matthew Mercer and Deborah Ann Woll to people just like you and me. In the recent years, it has an explosion of popularity due to the recent emergence of streams about D&D like Critical Role.
I don't know who you're touching, but I'm up on top of a tree.
I'm flying.
I'm invisible.
Critical Role, Maze Arcana, camera action, and high rolls.
Like wrapped round its arms is like this barbed vine that's dug into its legs.
Shows like these where people of high standing gather to play the game people love. In 2017, the time when most of these streams began, Wizards of the Coast, the owners of D&D, reported that over 8.6 million Americans have played D&D over the last 12 months, the biggest boost in popularity since the game's creation. D&D is a game which has the ability to tell stories and create an atmosphere based on what you choose to do. It can tell stories of great struggles and clashes, stories of moral conundrum. Depending on your skill or imagination, the world can feel alive. You can get attached to each NPC. You can start to see your character as their own person, with personality, a will, a choice. These aspects of D&D can create the best experiences out there, based purely on yourself and the people around you. D&D is a game that can bring people together. It can create new friendships and even strengthen existing ones. It can help to bring people out of dark places, or help to make people feel freer. D&D itself is a game that can not only affect you while playing, but can have a positive impact on your life. So with all this said and done, sit back and relax as I take a handful of new players through the first session and have them share their thoughts. What part of D&D did you enjoy the most?
I'd have to say getting into character and the role playing of it. I mean, it lets me be whoever I want to be or whoever I've made.
My answer is pretty much the same as Kane's. You get to be someone else. You get to escape everything in your life and then be someone else.
Yeah, I just really enjoyed making the character and watching the story unfold. It's pretty interesting.
What did you originally think about D&D?
I expected it to be harder, like a lot more paperwork, and it's just complicated dice. I still don't understand the dice.
We had too many dice.
Too many? 2 packets?
We only used like 2 or 3 of them. We had like 8.
So down we only used D20.
Yeah, mostly.
D20 and D4, they're the only ones I remember.
Do you feel that the time you spent playing bonded everyone around the table together in some sort of way?
Yeah, no, closer in what we did.
Bond a little.
Yeah,
A
was
lot
a lot more
comfortable around each other in a way.
What was your favourite part of the session?
The action and the fighting scenes, it was very luck-based, and I got quite intense about it.
Yeah.
I got very emotional.
I really enjoyed the dialogue, especially from that one over there. Yeah, pretty funny.
I enjoyed the exploring around like caverns and markets and just seeing, like, visualizing your own world and shoving the
Throwing
person
Frederick
downstairs.
Little Frederick is alive, I'll have you know.
He's in critical condition.
So was I when I got shot.
How many times? I'm sorry.
Is there a particular story or event that you consider memorable?
Shooting Cade.
Getting shot by Josh.
Kane screaming little people.
Pushing little Frederick down the stairs.
Yes, definitely.
This isn't all, however. I have some people who have been playing D&D for a long time and ask their opinions and thoughts on the game, but also how it's affected their lives. What got you into D&D?
I've always been into like nerd culture as a whole. I started out with just kind of like, I guess doing like fake D&D.
I think freshman year in college, they had a D&D club that just started. That was kind of my first exposure to it.
What do you think of the general misconceptions surrounding D&D and the stereotype that its players get?
The common misconceptions I hear, primarily from like friends and close ones, is effectively it's a thing mostly neckbeards do.
I think I have to agree with that. A lot of people believe that D&D is mainly for really nerdy guys and that girls don't play it, which is wildly just wrong. I've met a lot of girls playing D&D. Another thing, it's not just for nerdy people. I've actually met quite a few quote-unquote jock, if we're stereotyping. One DM I had, he was part of a frat, and he was telling me that his whole frat group just played D&D together. Now, it's not traditionally what you think of D&D, but they were just having a good time.
Do you feel that in your time of playing the game and being around other people has left an impact on yourself?
A funny thing is, D&D actually helped me to come out, primarily to myself, as I actually started role-playing gay characters, I guess, and then after a while I started to realize I was actually just experience myself without the negative connotations until then again I was able to finally accept myself, which I'm rather proud of.
It made me come out of my shell. Like, it made me less shy with people and just getting you out there and meeting people.
Do you feel that you've made friends with those you have played with, even if you've only just met them online?
Oh, most definitely. Yeah, I guess you guys right here are evidence of that. I would consider you two friends. And just, I don't know, another thing that D&D helped me, I guess, find out is I'm actually a shy extrovert. I really like hanging out with people, but it's hard for me to get to know them at first. And since, like, we're just talking online, I guess it makes it a bit easier.
Through the 4 years or so I've played D&D, I've met so many cool people. And I guess the cool thing about D&D, once you start playing and get in the community of it, you're gonna find more and more people. Like, friends of friends are gonna invite you to games, and, you know, you're gonna meet more and more people that, you know, like D&D. Kind of chain reaction.
Is there anything in your time of playing that you have come to enjoy the most about D&D?
I mean, I truly love, like, just most aspects of D&D. Probably just the role-playing in general. I just like it. Just being someone else or just being in another world is always fun, you know? That sort of sense of escapism.
Is there anything else you wish to say about D&D in general?
I think it's something everybody should try at least once.
Yeah, and there's also different, you can just sit down with your friends and create some wonky characters and just have it be like a little thing you guys do together.
Now, with all this being said, I hope people can tell that this game isn't for basement-dwelling trolls or people with no life to live. Real people play this game. People find comfort and acceptance in it. I hope this documentary has been informative and has helped to clear some of the misconceptions surrounding the game.